just want to say this. I'm doing kind of like sharing my thoughts on the movie of God's Not Dead. This movie is my kind of movie. I watched, I saw it, I want to see it again. It really moved me. It moved me. It's so all these things, and it hits you. Like, if you have a strong faith and you have a strong belief in God, in Christian faith, it's in Catholic faith, and whatever faith, like, you know for a fact that, but like, this movie is a Christian movie, so not everyone's a big fan of it, but I was. It's about this kid, Josh, who's a freshman in college, going into a philosophy class where a teacher is an atheist, a full-blown atheist, saying that God is dead. Well, he says in the beginning of class, like, you need a sign, and you need to proclaim that is dead, and you have to sign saying that you know it's true, that God is dead. But in reality, why did the teacher do this? Because he didn't believe, and he didn't want to deal with all the religious nonsense. But the Josh character, he's like, I can't do this, I'm Christian. And the teacher's like, you know what? Fine. You stand up in the class, in 3 of the class days that we had, like 3 days in class, or whatever thing that what colleges do, like 3 different times during the class time area. Debate. So in Josh's first thing, he's like, let's put God on trial. And he did. They both the professor and Josh put him on trial. Josh was stating his facts, saying, like, he used some philosophers, scientific man, and like the Bible. It was awesome seeing this movie. It was really, but like after the first debate, the professor pulls him aside, and he made a good point for the atheists out there. Some atheists out there, it's kind of true. Atheists were once great Christians, or something along the lines of that. Like, they're good. Like, they used to be Christians. That is true, really. That is true. Most atheists are. And most people who saw the movie already, who didn't see the movie, are not going to see the movie at all. During, like, the last time of the class, you have Josh and him, like, head to head. He made it different in this class. He both head to head, every time. But, like, in the end, Josh is just like, why do you hate God? That line right there, beautiful. And the professor, his answer was, it'll hurt you. Like, you will feel upset for him. It's like, Josh is like, why do you hate God? And the professor goes, because he took everything from me. Meaning, he took his mom, his dad, then his mom, and then the love of his life, out of his life. Well, the wife, the person that he dated, or wife, didn't really die. She went to a concert and walked out on him. But Josh really made a good point when he said this. Why do you hate something that doesn't exist? All atheists be like, we're brainwashed, we don't know what we're talking about, we go with scripture and whatnot. There's other people who don't. There's other faiths that has strong beliefs in things. Like, we have, like, the Muslims. Because in the movie there was a Muslim girl, like, of Muslim faith. She converted to Christian. Her brother found out, told her dad slapped her around. Like, literally, like, slapped her. As she tries to run away, he slapped her again. But he took her, dragged her out of the house that she was staying in, kicked her out, meaning that he disowned her. That was, like, the saddest part I've seen. And the brother was crying. It was the brother's fault. But anyway, I know for a fact I'm going to get atheist coming up on here because God's Not Dead movie. To them, it's God's not dead. To them, God is dead because God probably took everything from this person. I understand. God took away their things that were close to them, and they're like, God, I hate you. I was like that. I hated God. God took away my great aunt. She was the first person I ever believed her saying that I was beautiful. And I'm still working on that. I'm still working on how, like, am I that beautiful? Of course I am. But this movie was so moving. Like, if you're a Christian and you want to go see it, go see it. If it's still in the theaters, make sure you like their page on Facebook also to figure out, like, when the times are. This movie was amazing. I love, like, how, like, the pastor in the movie, if you've seen the movie, he couldn't get his car to start. Don't know why, but once he got the car started after he did something, it was a sign. It was a sign. It was awesome. This whole movie was awesome, especially the debate part. You get so many facts that are debatable and some that aren't debatable. And then in the end, you have that question. Why do you hate God? That part right there. And he tells him he took everything. But really, why do you hate him? And if you're an atheist, how can you hate something that really doesn't exist? But I understand. I understand the whole Christianity shoving down people's throats. In all honesty, I'm a laid back one. Most people question, like, how are you the most laid back Christian? Because I don't force it down my family's throat. They hear my music, they possibly see me, probably if I bring down the Bible to the living room, they'll see me read it. If I bow my head during dinner, they probably know I'm praying. But my family knows I'm the outcast. Well, not really an outcast. They still love me for who I am. But I understand. But still, atheists, I know for a fact you're gonna be like, oh, you like this movie? You're brainwashed. I'm not really brainwashed. If I was really brainwashed, I would have been to a different covenant of things, and somebody believed that they're like this almighty, and we're gonna go to a different planet, and we drink this Kool-Aid that's laced with something. Yeah, that's brainwashing. That's major brainwashing right there, my friends and fellows and ladies. But still, this movie was awesome. It was number 3, my mom told me, on like they're trying their, like, the director and the whole, like, the whole thing of the production of the movie and the people who run the Christian movies are trying to be like, we need to send this message out across the globe. And they were in select theaters. If you go onto their page on Facebook and look for, like, a picture of a map with different dots, that's the location of, like, the movies. There's a whole lot on the East Coast, but not on the West Coast. And they're trying to prove that it was number 3, and it's not a Hollywood movie. This is like a pure Christian thing, so it's weird. It's not weird. It's awesome, actually, because they're trying to bring this message out. Because to me, God's not dead. God was never dead. I made myself believe that he's not, but, like, I've gotten back into my faith. I understand it more, and I'm more spiritual, and I'm more faithful, and I'm actually empowered by it. As a young woman of a Christian faith, it feels very empowering because you feel like you're not really alone. But at the same time, like, you might think, oh, like, oh yeah, like, why do you say that? I can tell you many things, but I don't want to feel like talking about it. I'm just telling you how awesome this movie is. That line, there's 2 lines. Why do you hate God, and why do you hate something that doesn't exist? That's actually like a good point. How can you hate something that really doesn't exist in your eyes? Atheist, how can you? How can you hate something? Some of you guys could answer saying like he took everything away from me. I'm not gonna shove it down your throat. I will give you suggestions like have you prayed? Say like I don't really believe you. But the sad part of the movie, if you haven't seen it or you really dying to see it, don't scroll over to more of the video. But in the movie, near the end, the pastor and his friend was going somewhere in the car, and they were at the stoplight while the professor was walking down the street in the rain running, and from a red light went this car and hit him, and the professor's ribs were crushed and he was bleeding inside. The pastor was telling him, talking to him like, do you believe that Jesus is your savior and stuff? And he was telling him all this stuff, like why he was there for him and why. And the professor's like, I believe in him because like he was dying and he was afraid. He didn't know what to do. So the pastor tells him all these things, and he said, "Yes, I do believe. I do believe." Because in the movie, almost the whole class stood up saying, God's not dead." Professors didn't at that point now can't pass this kid because now he's dead. In the movie, he's dead, and it's sad. But like once the credits rolled, you'll see like court cases about like someone's faith and the university, and they've butted heads, or like a professor or something. It's a pretty cool movie. It's a movie that has basically, sorry, there's a stain on my screen. This movie has a message. Like people of faith could understand it truly. Like if a person of faith brings their atheist friends, they'll sit there dumbfounded and be like, oh, I still hate him. Some will come out like, wow, I can't believe that. There's 2 ways an atheist can be swayed in the movie. They can be still hate him, still hate him and still hate the religion, or some will be like, wow, that's awesome. Like, can I try? But anyway, comment, like this video, share this video, whatever. I'm gonna post this somewhere else, but this movie means a lot to me because it hit me. It showed me a lot. It gave me a view of the people of atheists. Sorry, moving in the background. The atheist mindset. I understand them now. Some actually. But yeah, this movie is awesome. If it's still in theaters, check it out. Check their Facebook page for the movie. Atheists, comment below. Give me the heat all you want. I'm gonna say this. I forgive you. I'm gonna forgive you, and I don't care if you have a rough situation. You can tell me like, oh yeah, I'm having a rough situation. My friend's doing this. Tell me, I'll pray for your friend. If you don't believe in that stuff, fine. I'll just tell you. I'll pray for you. I'm not gonna pray for you because you'll be like, don't need prayers. But I won't. But I'll just tell you like, I forgive you. I hope you enjoy this video, my rants and stuff. It's awesome. Go see the movie. My friend, God's not dead. God's not dead. He's surely alive.